in Sioux City, Iowa. And we had to fly here, and so when I say I'm glad to be here in this weather, I'm really glad to be here tonight. But truth be told, when Edith says there's going to be a Clinton County fundraiser, I don't care what you have on your schedule, you move it off the schedule and you get to Clinton County for the fundraiser. I've been here several times. Thank you to Edith and all the Republican senators for doing what a great job. You know, I consider it a real honor to run for governor. Matter of fact, I've traveled this state from river to river, border to border. We put on about 6,000 miles a month, and we never leave the state on purpose, that is. As I travel around the state, once in a while people say, you know, this is what needs to be improved upon in Iowa, or this is what's wrong with Iowa. I want you to know tonight, I'm not running for governor of Iowa because of what's wrong with Iowa. I'm running for governor because of the vast potential I see in this great state. But if we're going to seize that vast potential, Iowa needs new leadership and Iowa needs a new governor. You see, I firmly believe that Iowa can be the next economic engine in this country. I've studied economics, I've taught economics. We have everything here to be the next economic engine. When you take a look at it, we're good at growing things. We're good at growing, we have row crops and animal production, renewable fuels, alternative energy. We're great at growing things. We have great infrastructure. We're bordered by two rivers, the Missouri where I come from, and Mississippi where you are. We have good infrastructure here. We have people of high moral, high character, strong work ethic, and who are well educated for the most part. We have the people here. And I still believe that we are geographically placed smack dab in the center of the greatest country in the world. Iowa can be the next economic engine. But if we're going to be an economic engine, we need to have a governor who is serious about opening up this state for business. You know, guys, I believe today that we rank 46 in the country in having a hospitable business environment, which means we rank 49th in the country in new business startups, which means we export our most valued resource called our children. 25 years ago, I graduated from Northwestern College up in Orange City. And when I took my first teaching job at Boone High School to teach business, to teach economics, the Des Moines TV station, they wanted to interview me because they said they had a thing going on called the brain drain. And I thought, I'm your guy.
It's great to be black. It's great to be back in Clinton County to see such a great turnout. And also in Goose Lake because it's Craig Robinson's hometown. And he does the Iowa Republican. He does a great job all over the state of Iowa. We've got a great following. So Craig, it's great to be in your hometown. And it's great to be back with Edith Pfeffer. And I know when Edith asks that we do something, we know to do it. And Edith and her late husband Paul were great friends of my family, and I'm just so appreciative to be back in Clinton County and to see such a great turnout. I want you to know that I love the job I had at Des Moines University, and we had great success. But I also love the state of Iowa. And after working long and hard and leaving the state with a $900 million surplus and a record number of people working, I just am sick about what this inexperienced governor, Chet Culver, has done to our state, plowing us deep into debt and failing to make the tough decisions to get Iowa on the track to growth and prosperity. You know what happened in the last session of the legislature, 1999? He insisted, and the Democratic legislature complied with the biggest increase in budget, the biggest budget in state's history. Then they got the federal stimulus money, supposed to be one-time money, and they used a substantial amount of it for ongoing expenses. And that wasn't the end of it. On top of that, he insisted on this big bonding indebtedness plan of $890 million. And it was a big plan and was supposed to create 30,000 jobs. You know what the unemployment rate was when they passed it? 5.3%. It is 6.7% today. We have the highest unemployment we've had in 23 years. government is not going to get us out of this recession. It's private sector investment and good jobs in the private sector. And we've got to stop this Obama administration borrowing us into the big...
Not feeling very good. One thing, like you see in my pamphlets, one of the basic things I believe we should have term limits. I think if anybody that's running for office should impose some type of term limits upon themselves, or should not be elected to office. The corruption we have in Washington now with the politics is getting way out of hand, and I believe that's the only way we're going to control it. Also, if I would be elected, I would like to give up a lot of my free time back here in all the districts, because I think one of the biggest thing is keeping in contact with your people that voted you into office. The biggest thing is about right now is most politicians don't go around and visit the people much at all. But the way the country is going right now is so far into progress, liberalism and progressives, I think it's very important that we keep the people.
A little bit about my background, and he almost pronounced it right, but it's Quasqueton, Iowa, and it's population 499. I grew up all my life here in the 1st Congressional District. Went to high school at East Buchanan, college down in Texas, playing some college baseball, and law school in Minnesota. And I am currently a practicing attorney in Independence. And before you say, oh no, we have another trial attorney, I represent the small businesses that take it on the chin from the trial attorneys. So I like to distinguish myself from that perspective. And he also mentioned my background. I was a policy advisor to United States Congressman John Klein. The top secret security clearance. I advised the Congressman on issues of national security, agricultural issues, judicial issues, among many others. And I like to tell folks, I was involved with the Congressman and in Washington, D.C. just long enough to see how bad it really is there. And when I talk about my background, I always want to move forward.
Information. Actually, I'm from Dubuque, and I went to Loras College. Anybody know where that is? Loras, anyone? Yeah? Okay, that's a few Hawks. I also was in the Navy for 5 years. I guess I'll give myself that information, that's okay. I was in the Navy for 5 years. I was a Hebrew linguist. I worked with the Middle East. That's going to come in later when I talk about national defense. I also went over to China for a year and a half and learned Chinese. And that will come with my second target area, which is jobs. The first thing I want to talk about is the economy. Everyone knows the economy is this too loud? Is this okay? Okay. Everyone knows that the economy is really in a problem right now. It's tanking. And we've got a spending problem in DC. Well, this spending problem, unfortunately, is not new. I'm young, as you guys can tell. I'm 29, I'll be 30 in June. But this has not gone on for years. This has gone on for decades. We've had a problem with this for a long time, and we need to start looking at it seriously. We as Republicans should be the ones to stand up and be like, you know what, the spending's enough. We're the ones that set the example, not you. Stop. Constitution says stop, we stop. That's it. So when it comes to the economy, when people want to try to solve a problem, and let's just say
your parents or your grandparents, they need to know your story. Basically, my story is that I was born and raised in Davenport, graduated from Davenport High School, Davenport Central High School. My father worked at the Rock Island Arsenal, and I was number 6 in the family. I ended up working my way through college, coming back, working at Ralston-Freno over the summers, worked my way through law school, and my latest achievement in law is probably I was a corporate counsel for a family business here in Iowa that we had businesses in 3 states. In any event, in that time period, I also got elected 3 times to the Iowa House of Representatives. And I served 4 years as the chair of the committee that oversees all the rules and regulations of the state, including the Secretary of State's regulations. And I served 2 years as the chair of the budget committee that oversaw the Secretary of State. And I am running for the Secretary of State because our current Secretary of State is a politician from Des Moines, and we need somebody in the Secretary of State's office that makes business and election law decisions, not political decisions like he does. Now, I can tell you a lot about the Secretary of State's office. I've worked with the Secretary of State for 30 years. I've seen them come and go, seen what they've done that worked, seen what they did that didn't work, saw their business initiatives, those kind of things. What I really want to talk to you about tonight crucial issue of the Secretary of State is the chief election officer of the state of Iowa. And we have a lot of great candidates coming up this year. We're going to have a great conservative Republican team leading us. But the problem